So welcome to Atal'Dazar, man. Another one of the easiest dungeons in the whole expansion, especially as a tank. So starting off, there's gonna be I like to go right. Some people like to go left. I like right. I'll show you one of the packs on the left when we get over there. But anyways, I digress. So when you drop down on the right, there are some stealth mobs throughout here and there. As you're rolling up in here, on any of these packs that you might pull, kill the totem first. Because until you kill the totem, the honor guard cannot take any damage. So you just have a mob there, staying at full health, just wrecking your shit. Now the bulwarks can be stunned. But that's it. They can't be roared, they can't be typhooned, you can't do anything else besides a stun only. So a bull rush or war stomp is appropriate for that. And keys, you're definitely going to need to coordinate that with your party. But since we're here now, hopefully you won't be pulling all of this because you don't need XP anymore. So why would you pull a bunch of extra trash? So you're just going to walk right over here. It's going to take a minute to get that down your first time. There's going to be a stealth mob right here. Right in between these last two before you get to the boss area. And then you gotta pull this pack right here and put a skull on the totem. And my DPS will go ahead and burn that. I stay focused on the witch doctor whenever my skull bash is about to come around. And I usually even go so far as like marking a skull on her. Just to kind of let them know, hey, I want this bitch dead first because she's a caster. And casters, the general rule for tanking, casters and big dudes die first. So if you have a giant motherfucker in front of you, generally he's going to be the one to die first. If you have a caster, they're generally should be the ones that die first, because they are the ones that will be doing more damage to either you or your party. And so now, just real quick, you got the two stealth mobs right here in front of this boss, which are not here on plus. They're only here on heroic and mythic, I think. It's been a while since I've done heroic, so I can't really say, but the damage to current for both. Sorry about that. Monk left, warrior right, pally back. I'll balance. So this fight is really up to your DPS. You just have to tank the boss and not kill people and interrupt noxious stench. Your DPS, on the other hand, have to kill these totems evenly. So generally, I will help out wherever is needed. Get fucking skull, get fucking skull. You just gotta kill them all at the same time. Kill them all at the same time, and then he becomes unimmune from damage. And now is the time to lust and burn if you have a lust in your party. We don't right now, and I don't have drums, so whatever. Not a big deal. Interrupt stance as fast as you can. It's kind of a long cast. But just anything to help reduce the damage on your party. It just inflicts nature damage to your party and shit on the ground. Or that cast inflicts nature damage to your party. The shit on the ground just hurts, obviously. So, you know, don't stand in it. I'm currently in a phase myself, practicing right now, not using my cooldowns. Like, I'm not using like instincts unless I absolutely have to. Just to get the practice in on using your cooldowns less and for more important things. Like things that can one-shot you or things like that, so Come back, bruh. So currently in plus, I don't know if this is the best way to be going, but you need to know how to deal with these anyway, especially when you're like learning your way around the place. But these things, it's just more the Witch Doctors that cast. That's it. Taking a bunch of white damage from the shield bearers that I'm gonna stun with a bull rush. Because nobody's even gonna try to finish off the caster. I will do it. These are good mobs for percentage and plus. All you have to do is interrupt the fear on the Sky Screamer, and that's it. That's it. There's a lot of like fairly easy trash in here. Just things you have to deal with like here and there. Easy stuff. One of my mobs missed Thrash, so I'm just gonna throw Moonfire on it. Make sure I keep threat. Now generally, you're gonna wanna skip this, cause this shit and plus really hurts these guys. There's really no reason to put yourself through that when there's a lot of other trash on the board that gives a decent amount of percentage. Put a skull on the Sky Screamer again because they fear that interrupt has to be taken care of at all costs. Mine wasn't quite off cooldown yet. I'm glad that other dude got it. But yeah, dude, again, this is one of the easiest ones in the whole place. It's a lot of like burn down the caster here and avoid as much of the melee damage as you can. This other pack right here, they're gonna die real quick. Now, one thing I want you to do while you're going through here on a heroic or a reg mythic run or whatever, be paying attention to times where you can be ready to move ahead in a plus run. So like right here, being right next to the fire, so we can go ahead and move up and not have to wait for that shit. I'm just gonna roar them. I run through it all the time anyway because it doesn't hurt that much. It's not overly difficult to deal with. Now, I'm pulling in a way that you might want to when you have a little less gear on Reg Mythic. Once you pass like 340, you can pretty much do whatever you want to a certain extent. The priestesses do the same mechanic as the boss, transfusion. You just have to get the debuff on the red stuff if she targets you, and it drains her health if it's red. If it's golden, it's adding health to her. So I'm gonna mark that priestess again. I'm gonna put the caster as X for me, and I'm gonna lock that shit down. I'm not gonna pull the boss with this because I want to show you a proper clean pull. Okay. Anyways, good old DPS. Trying to force my hand or something. Like, make me pull the boss, so I'm just not gonna let that happen. Especially with the way things are now, like, DPS kind of need to learn that they can't be like the cunts that they were in Legion. So, this boss, dude, again, easy boss. The only things you have to worry about here, choose a pool and tank next to it, and then this ad will come up. Now this ad, hopefully somebody fucking kills it, or you're gonna see what it does. It's gonna absorb a pool. So then when she casts transfusion, you've only got 5. So now one person here, on top of them running inside them as they spawned, that ad will eat one. Now you need this. Ideally you want all 5, because if you've got 3 with a red that are draining her and 2 with a holy that are adding health to her, you're barely draining her health. If you have all 5 people with that, it's just gonna chunk her down. So watch, we've got 4. We should be getting 1 more. No, we're not. But you see her healing? Because the DPS aren't opening their eyes and paying attention to what's happening. Oh, she's healing. Oh, there's like different color things around me. Maybe I should have a look at like what the fuck is happening. But don't count on that. You gotta count on holding their hand and putting skulls and markers on mechanics to do things for them. Okay? Just get used to it. Life of a tank. And look. Alright, so stop soaking pools. We need them. Hey, look, they just barely got it. Cool. You have to balance out the transfusion, or, you know, you're just going to be stuck on this boss that should take a minute, and it's going to turn into like a 3-minute fight. For no reason whatsoever. Other than your DPS want to ignore that ad, so. Nothing wrong with typing in all caps, man. It's not yelling. Just what you have to say is more important, especially when they're doing things like this. And just making your life harder than it needs to be. Alright, so we're gonna go down here and just pull one of these packs. And I'm just gonna show you what they do. So, in case you get forced into it or something like that. It's just healthy to know what they do. Because there's a specific way to deal with these mobs over here. Because there's a big one in the middle. Colossus. Now these things, when mobs die around them, they absorb their soul and become more powerful and gain a lot more health. So what you want to do is mark a skull right on the Juggernaut and come up, and hopefully your DPS don't charge in and start doing dumb shit like that, and you can bring it up the stairs. Never mind, it's not gonna Typhoon. They're immune to it inside that bubble or something. The point is, you get skull down, the Colossus, and then the rest is nothing. You can handle it as you need to. They're not a big deal. The Colossus just always has to go down first. Just because of what it does, so. But anyways, that's that one pack, so. I don't go that way. Those packs are a little more hectic than the ones on the right side, I feel like. I'm just gonna jump over this, take one little tick, it's nothing. Woo. Down. Jump down, fool. Let's go. So after you kill Priestess, you're gonna come on the bridge and you're just gonna jump down. So my idiot-proof way, hold on. Do not pull ads. Do not run in purple. Run fixate over water. So the ideal strat here, at least for right now, is to tank him right here on these stairs. Because he does a fear that you can line of sight. And the purple things around the room, all these are little ads that can be spawned. So you do not want your party running over them, as 2 of my people just did for some reason. Especially on a tyrannical week. You do not and cannot really even deal with these ads. And this is what I get for not LOSing, and neither do they. Oh my god. So I'm just gonna get eaten. Tell these dudes how to deal with the fear, because they have no idea, even though they've all been here before. Alright, so we're just gonna take the boss right here. Put him right in the middle. Hopefully I don't die to these extra fucking ads. Now Visage comes, you're just gonna run right over here. Line of sight. And that's it. That is it. Hopefully your dudes don't get eaten. It doesn't do an insane amount of damage. On higher plus keys, it definitely will. It's not something you want to get eaten by. That ideally the shit that I got eaten by and the shit that the DPS got eaten by because they're dumb. All they have to do is just run down the side of the water. So they avoid the devouring here. Look, he's about to do it. Never mind. But they avoid it by running in the water. So they don't get eaten by the fucking boss, and they don't spawn any extra ads on you. There's a world quest thing here, sorry. I really don't want to fucking do. And again, the bat's up here in the middle. Since we have all the bosses dead, we're just gonna roll right through the middle, back up to the boss in the middle. And right to her. Avoiding this pack. If you have a chance, it's always good to try to run forward a bit and start the RP. These guys are waiting back. The RP will start when you get on the part of the bridge right here. It is always best to get that activated as soon as you can. And don't run over purple shit on the stairs, because it just makes it more annoying for other people to run up. It's not a big deal, but... Later, fool. This boss, one of the easiest bosses you'll ever have to do. You pull her, you tank her on one side, you put a marker down. Soul Rend is where they need to fucking go to Moon. Moon. But the warrior is a genius and just decides to run off by himself instead of with the rest of the party. And interrupt racking pain, dude. Only two things you have to do. Don't let the boss get hit by ads. And interrupt racking pain. She does a fair amount of white damage. Nothing overly difficult. You do need to be aware of it and be rotating Iron Furs and regens around that. As well as these little spiders rolling across the room. So they went to the other side, so I'm just gonna pull her a little bit on the side appropriately. Typhoon that shit. Moonfire that shit because it's getting close. Alright. It's at this point in a fight where you should be thinking about, alright, so I have a recharge of regen, the other charge is halfway refilled. Got some rage for some Iron Furs. So I'm gonna throw in an Iron Fur. I'm gonna roll a regen after. It's gonna top me off, and then I'm just gonna hit her with mauls until the end. This is derpy fucking warrior just wants to spawn his ad right there. And that's it. That's Atal'Dazar. Cake. Fucking cake. Easy. I was about to say, if that dude just got the fucking mount, I'm gonna lose my shit.